This is cutting down the nets. Whoo, Saturdays are tough. I grinded out a profit, made a lot of mistakes, but hey, it's high volume Saturday. That's fun. If you were far more disciplined, uh, yesterday's pool, like 11 and 5 ish, um, depending on where you got lines and stuff like that. So, um, solid, solid day. Sunday, I'm warning, man, you're gonna get mad at me for some of these suggestions. And hey, if it was easy, everyone would bet it, and then the books would go broke. That's not how it works. Like it's easy to say like, hey, these teams are great and they're gonna smash whoever they're playing. I got some tough ones for you. So we'll get into the Sunday schedule. We'll go game by game here shortly. For the year, I'm at 55.1%, and I feel like we're about to hit our stride near the end of the year. So based on how I do things, I think we're getting out of that. Everyone's played about 15 games business, and we'll move forward. So what do I mean by that? Let's look at Sunday. So what you're going to see here, Paddy line. This is what my efficiency model produces. I take the adjusted offensive and defensive efficiencies. If you want to learn more about how I do that, you can watch the pinned video on this channel. I also reference Bart Torvik and KenPom. Those are respected analytics sites, just as comparison to see where are they at in terms of the market. And then the actual line is the actual line. So these are always home spreads. All the information's in the description of this video. But what I do is I weight recent play. And you're going to see that come into play in a couple instances. I also, after running the model, I look for reasons not to bet that game. And today, there are a lot of reasons not to bet a lot of these games where the model showed, hey, looks like there's some value here. And then as a human, I have to go in and say, like, yeah, I don't like the shot quality. I don't like the situation. They're playing a team off 5 losses. That team's going to be motivated. I don't like the 3-point regression. I don't like the matchup, whatever it might be. So sometimes we're reaffirming those plays. Today, there's a lot of reasons not to side with the machine, but you can do what you want. That's the beauty of America. Xavier at Marquette. I have Marquette as a slight favorite, but it's because of the insane efficiency they've had the last 5 games. But hey, look, this is year 1 for Shaka. Like, is it starting to click? Are we going to get a VCU run? Look, I have no idea. Xavier, a very, very solid team. I'm starting to cap their ceiling a little bit when I watch them play. All right, so anyway, Xavier's favored by 2. I have Marquette by 1. Am I going to bet this game? No, and here's why. Xavier, 14th in shot quality. Marquette, 63rd. So it's a pass for me. And I'm warning you, based on the last 5 games Marquette has played, if they sustain this, there's going to be a lot of Marquette recommendations moving forward from this show. Michigan, Indiana, obvious letdown spot for Indiana, but no favors in the market. Not an inflated line. -4 is fair, and I don't see any value in that game. Memphis at Tulsa. Penny has reached the making excuses portion of coaching a 18-year-old AAU team in the college ranks. But Memphis comes in 50th in shot quality, Tulsa 136. These teams already played this year. Tulsa can, based on matchup, and did, turn over the Tigers 22 times in a 72-possession game. However, Tulsa turned it over 19 times themselves. So both teams coming off multiple L's. So it seems pretty situational neutral. Memphis should own the offensive boards. They did the first game. First game ended as I think Memphis won by 3 at Memphis. So, look, model says 2.2 points is what Memphis should win this one by. Currently getting 5.5, but Tulsa has lost quite a few games in a row. We may get a better number here, and there's not a whole lot of value, but certainly in play, I would say, on the Tulsa side. Arizona at Cal. Oh, daddy. Like, this one's tough. And if it's uncomfortable, it's usually a good bet. Arizona, number 1 in shot quality. Number 3, shot quality offense. Number 3, shot quality defense. Cal, 139, 198, 9, and 84. If you're going to bet Cal, I assume you just do this as late as possible. But it is an awesome spot for Cal. They're off 4 L's. But, man, it is hard to bet against Arizona. That's what makes this a beautiful game and a beautiful hobby/side hustle for me. So, I think this game should be 9 points. KenPom and Torvik are in the 11-12 range. We're getting 13.5. But man, it feels gross to bet against Arizona. So, I understand if you don't want to tail that one. I totally get it. I'm going to go there. And I'm warning you, the advice is going to get worse. Next up, Northwestern at Purdue. Oh, Chris Collins. Don't do it to me again. It's happening, isn't it? Okay, now in this one I have Purdue by 11. And the line is 13. So there's only a couple points of value where Cal's getting more value in their game. Look, I hate it. God, I hate Northwestern. And what makes this game orange? One, there's less value in this game in the difference between my line and the spread. But 2, expect Purdue to be highly motivated. So situationally, these are night and day. Arizona might sleepwalk into that Cal matchup on the road. Purdue at home, coming off the frustrating loss in Bloomington. I think you get a very focused Purdue team. However, let's explore these angles. Northwestern's 31st in shot quality. They're taking good shots. Now Purdue's 3rd overall, but there is value here. I don't expect the line to get crazy here just because that's hard to do on Big Ten games. But if it does, BetStamp's going to show a Northwestern bet. Again, after I promised myself I wouldn't. What is all this orange? Let's talk about this orange. So, 1, my model is asking me to lay points in all these games but 1. We'll get to that. So Youngstown State at Fort Wayne. 2 days rest for both teams. They both played on Friday. Shot quality. Youngstown State's actually 218. Fort Wayne's 247. Fort Wayne's favored, and my model wants me to bet Fort Wayne. So that's a stay away based on shot quality. Fairfield and Marist. Again, I look for reasons not to play it. I want to eliminate that risk. So model has Marist by 8.3. Actual line's 3.5. But shot quality has Fairfield actually a little higher, Marist a little lower. If you want to read more about shot quality, I've got plenty of links in the description of this video. And Fairfield off 7 losses is ultimate buy low opportunity. So that, with shot quality, has me passing based on situation and shot quality. UMass and SLU. UMass lit my coins on fire on Martin Luther King Day. St. Louis went there. It was a short line, 2.5, 3 points. I think I got a 2.5. Didn't matter. SLU got what they wanted, as expected. But Mass, the Minutemen, could not be stopped. Not at the rim, not at the 3, not anywhere. And it was super frustrating. So I'm a Travis Ford guy. I think he can avenge here. I think he can scheme. I think he can game plan and be like, yeah, we got this time around. But 9 points is a lot to lay. Efficiencies say it should be more like 13. Torvik's at 14. KenPom's at 10. I'm just not interested in laying 3 possessions against a team that can score as easily as UMass can, even though UMass defense is real bad. Too much risk there for me based on the number. So here's where you have to make a decision. You've seen where my efficiencies say, hey, like 13 and a half points. And KenPom and Torvik are somewhat close to that. Torvik a little higher, KenPom a little lower. So what happens in these situations is tomorrow you might see, oh God, it's 8. Now it's 7.5. So 7.5, what are we doing? 7, what are we doing? And I just think that's possible. But expect SLU to be highly motivated. It's just a big number, even though data suggests backing it. Part 2 of that is Butler at Providence. Butler showed some life at home against UConn until the bullying would not stop. And ultimately they faded and, UConn closed it out comfortably. But shot quality has Butler at 79 overall, Providence at 58. So Providence clearly overvalued. They're like 15-2. They've won a lot of close games. Low possession game, just not the spot to lay double digits. Elite grinding. Here's the trap game of the day. Will I fall for it? I don't know. But these guys played on Friday, 2 days ago, literally like 48 hours ago. Illinois State beat Evansville at home, mind you, by like 35 points. They now go to Evansville. So here's the story about Evansville. They've had 3 straight losses, which is like, yeah, that happens. And sometimes that means that's a good spot for that team to bounce back. Their 3 straight losses have been by 30 points. But back-to-backs are weird. If you haven't bet back-to-backs before, it means you sat out COVID last year. Because there's a lot of back-to-backs. With scheduling, it was like, yeah, these teams end up just playing each other twice. So we have a home and home. This game on Friday was at Illinois State. This one's at Evansville. And shot quality has these teams fairly close. And I need to remind you that Illinois State's defense is real bad. They have half their games have been over a 110 adjusted defense, which I assure you is bad. So it's tough because anyone can look at the schedule and see like these guys just played and one team won by 30, 35 points. How could it be different? I'm just going to stay away. I understand if you think they have their number, but I'm scared of that one. Here comes the shot quality bowl. This is Manhattan at Monmouth. Manhattan, 297 in shot quality. Monmouth, 192. What shot quality is saying is Monmouth's current record is 11-6, and shot quality says, based on the shots they've taken, they should be 8-9. 10-5 Manhattan, based on the shots they've taken, should be 6-9. Manhattan's MO is to suck you into betting on them. They will build a big lead and then collapse. And collapse is not like lose the lead. It's like lose a 17-point lead and then also lose by 8, allowing the team to go on like a 36-11 run in the final like 12 minutes or something like that. So not much value here, 2.3 points. But if I had to bet this, it'd be Manhattan. But that disparity in shot quality is a little scary. But it's not too out of line for a 10-point spread. I wish Manhattan was actually 6-9 and not 10-5. I'd be more interested. We have a yellow game, and it's tough because LIU at Fairleigh Dickinson, Fair Dick, as friends at the pod like to call him. LIU 305 in shot quality, Fairleigh Dickinson 341. But these are just rankings. Not all rankings are created equal. Fairleigh Dickinson, if you look at their schedule, they basically lose to anybody by 10. Like that's their baseline. And then if that team has a pulse, like a top 130 team, doesn't have to be an elite team, just an above average team, they lose by 30. So this is a really, really bad basketball team. But 6.5 points laying on the road for team 305 in shot quality is certainly a tough order. So I'm not sure if I'll play it or not, I need to make that decision. Not much here on these gray ones. So the final game, Central Connecticut at Mount St. Mary's. -12 is my line. -9.5 is the current spread. So it would suggest backing the Mount, and I just don't think I can. Shot quality has these teams in the bottom 300. So I know it was lengthy, but this is the time of year where you really have to think about how stuff is going. So here's my pool. It's pretty simple to me. Tulsa plus 5.5. I would prefer to get the full 2 possessions. Cal, oh God, against Arizona. But that's a big number. And there's some decent matchup spots there. And then I'm not sure if I'll play this. I hate laying points, and it has not paid off for me. But LAU Brooklyn at Fairdick, laying 6.5. This is cutting down the nets. We'll see you Monday.